My name is Hutson, Inniss. Previously they said 5 to 7 minutes, and now I see we've been reduced to 5 minutes. I hope I'll get at least 6 minutes and give me a little time after the bell rings. The Constitution of Barbados states in its preamble, "The people of Barbados proclaim that they are a sovereign nation founded upon principles that acknowledge the supremacy of God, the dignity of the human person, their unshakable faith in fundamental human rights and freedoms, and the position of the family in a society of free men and free institutions." I want to focus on these three principles: the supremacy of God, the unshakable faith of human rights, which in itself implies acknowledgement of the dignity of the human person, and thirdly, the position of the family in society. The first one, the supremacy of God. Many persons have interpreted the disestablishment of the Anglican Church in 1969 as the secularization of Barbados. And we heard arguments again tonight that Barbados, to the effect that Barbados is a secular society. It was not the secularization of Barbados. Under the Anglican Church Act of 1969, the Church of England ceased to be established by law. What this did was to level the playing field, requiring the Anglican Church to provide for its own finances and manage its own affairs, just as all the other Christian denominations were required to do. The Anglican Church effectively lost its preferential treatment. The law did not establish a secular society. The Barbados population census of 2010, which is the most recent census available, records 23.9% of Barbadians as Anglican, 19.5% Pentecostal, 5.9% Adventist, 4.2% Methodist, 3.8% Roman Catholic, 18.3% other Christian, and 21.8% with no religious affiliation. In summary, 75.6% of the population profess to be Christians, and 24.4% of the population were non-Christian. What further evidence is required to show that Barbados is unquestionably a Christian society? This is an official government population census and is available on the government information website. Reference to the supremacy of God must therefore remain unchanged in the Constitution. Secondly, or unshakable faith in human rights. Article 2 of the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights states, "Everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration, without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status." These are all fundamental human rights that were established and agreed to by the United Nations member countries and were consistent with our Constitution when we first became independent in 1966. However, in 1981, our independent nation joined 23 other Caribbean and Latin American countries and signed and ratified the American Convention on Human Rights, which is enforced by the Inter-American Court of Human Rights, the IHR, and in so doing appears to have ceded the sovereignty of our courts to the IHR. It should be noted that the USA never ratified this treaty and continues to execute murderers at will, something that adherence to this convention apparently prevents Barbados from doing. In 2018, in response to a question raised by Costa Rica concerning the obligation of member states to implement recent changes to the convention, that is the American Convention on Human Rights, the IHR issued a clarification statement reiterating that all member states, and that includes Barbados, must recognize and guarantee the rights that are derived from a family bond between people of the same sex. This includes marriage. It requires governments to guarantee access to all existing forms of legal domestic systems, including the right to marriage, to ensure the protection of all rights of families formed by same-sex couples without discrimination. Clearly, this will ultimately lead to the adoption of children by same-sex couples. Article 1 of the Charter of Barbados includes the terms gender and sexual orientation. And these terms have also been included in recent legislation passed, and you know which pieces of legislation I'm referring to. By including these terms, Barbados seems to be following its obligations to the American Convention of Human Rights.
If you can wrap up, because you're 5 minutes.
I got 5 minutes already?
Yes, you have 5:20 or 5:30 now.
Okay.
Yeah, so please just, if you wrap up, please.
Well,
yes, you can come back.
I'll come back. I want to deal with the third one. Okay. The third one, just a reminder, is the position of family in society.
Okay.
But I hope I have made the point clearly that I wanted to make.
Thank you, Mr. Inniss.